So we talked about how to find area and volume of cubic things, so now we're going to talk about how to find it of a cylinder. So we know that area is length times width, and that is a square centimeter, or a square measurement, because we're multiplying two numbers together. So that's length and width, two-dimensional. Volume, on the other hand, has three measurements. So with our volume, we need to know, and again, this is volume of a cubic object. We need length, width, and height. Since I'm multiplying three measurements here, this is a cubic measurement. So every every measurement of volume is a cubic measurement. Okay, now everything is not a cube. Not everything has a length and a width. But here, my length and the width gets me to my area. So really how we need to find volume is the area of an object. Most objects, they might not have a length and a width, but they have an area. And then how tall is that object? So I'm going to replace this to make it a little simpler. I'm going to replace volume, and it's going to say area times height equals volume, rather than length times width times height, because length times width is the same as volume. Now again, this is a cubic measurement. Here's an example of something that does not have a very good length and width. We do have a height, right? So I need to figure out the area of this, just like I did before. I need the area, which before was length times width. But for a cylinder, the area is going to be a little different formula. So I'm going to start with, here's the area of the circle on top of my cylinder. And this blue line represents the height of my cylinder. Now the formula for the area of a circle is pi times radius squared. Our radius is half the distance of the diameter. So the diameter of our circle is all the way from top to bottom there. My radius is half of that. So the best way to do this is to measure the whole diameter, which in this case is 6 centimeters, so that's top to bottom of that circle, and then cut that in half, and that's going to give me my radius. So my radius in this case is half of 6, which is 3. So I'm going to go ahead and replace in my formula the r, which stands for radius, with 3, because my radius is 3. 3 squared is 9. I'm going to punch into my calculator the pi symbol, pi times 9, and that's going to give me 28.2 centimeters squared. So I have half my volume equation done already. I know what the area of the circle is. Now I need to know the height of the cylinder. This one's pretty easy, just linear measurement. It's 22 centimeters. So I'm going to also put that up here. I'm going to multiply those two things together. And it's going to give me a volume 620.4 cubic centimeters. Again, this is still a volume measurement, so it's cubic. Okay, over here I have square centimeters, I have linear centimeters. That gives me a cubic measurement of centimeters. Now this is the volume of the outside of the tube, so we'd have to imagine that we cover up the top hole and the bottom hole, which when we're talking about buoyancy, which is what we're worried about in this class, we generally cover up any inside holes so we can displace more water. So this is how to figure out the volume of a cylinder, and again, it's assuming that the top and the bottom don't have big holes through it.